these up when we... If you can sort of... Sorry.
You can't smoke in here.
Please, damn mercy.
I ask questions. Where you going?
Sorry, I was just here to translate.
At times like those, you have to really question and think, is there something bigger than me planning that?
There is something bigger than us that is affecting the way we live our lives.
I just think it's so naive to think that everything that happens in our life is for a reason.
It'd be nice to believe, it's nice to think there's some plan for you and that it's not all just random. I think it's nice to know that there's someone who knows what I'm doing, because sometimes I don't. Kind of takes responsibility off me a little bit, which is nice. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy.
We're in IKEA.
I was leaning over the counter, reaching for the last sandwich, bacon cress, and there he was. His shirt was blowing up with the cool air from the fridge, and he had this startled look on his face. Adorable.
I wasn't startled. It was just a bit cold, really.
Our eyes met, and I don't know.
You can't really help it though,
Something
because there's a lot of people there, so you sort of meet people's eyes all the time.
He likes to play it down. He doesn't really mean that. Do you, Freddie?
Fred. I don't know, I just don't really believe in that stuff. People make out that there's something there that we can't see or whatever. If I come across someone that I think is really nice, then I'll go on over and say hello. Yeah, ever since then we've sort of, she has had this idea that because we met by chance that...
Because I've been blessed once, maybe I'll be blessed again.
That stuff, yeah.
What's to say, something that happens in the future could bring us good fortune.
She's talking about the lottery.
Tot ce probabil mă știți de la știri de acum ceva vreme mai de mult, eram fetița care a fost salvată de către Iisus. Bătaie de joc.
You probably knew me from the news a while back. I was the little girl who was allegedly saved by Jesus. What a joke that was.
Pot să vă spun este că am fost... tot ce s-a întâmplat a fost să fie. Poate a fost evenimentul care mi-a schimbat viața, dar asta nu înseamnă că a schimbat-o în bine.
All I will tell you about what happened is it was meant to be. Maybe it was the event that changed my life, but it didn't change it for the better.
De stradă.
So I guess you want to know how I ended up the way I did. How did the little girl who saw Jesus end up selling flowers on the street corner?
Vă dezmiticiți măcar ce vreți de la ea.
How would you feel if your entire life was decided before you could even figure out what you want to be when you grow up?
Și nu am să cred.
I'm not even going to talk about it. I think everyone's seen the news, talked about the miracle, hell, Jesus and God. And I used to be like that too. I used to believe.
Nu mai aparținea mie, așa că am fugit de acasă.
You see, at 16 I decided I wasn't going to be in the stand-in for faith anymore. My life had been decided for me and I wasn't my own girl. So I ran away.
Ce vreau să spun?
I've been in Bucharest for 4 years now, living with someone or other. I've been selling flowers for about a year. Before that I was just about.
Cred totuși că dacă Iisus, dacă Dumnezeu a avut grijă de mine până acum, o să aibă grijă de mine și de acum înainte. Tot ce trebuie să se întâmple se va întâmpla.
If Jesus took care of me back then, he'll take care of me through this now. Everything that needs to happen will happen.
I feel in my own mind that something was meant to be. I was born and I grew up in London, and I worked for a company in London, and they had an office twinned in New York, and they'd asked me to go out and do a meeting with them in September of 2001. That was due to be scheduled on Tuesday the 11th of September 2001. I went out there the previous Friday, the 7th, with my wife. We had a look around New York City, and we were excited to be there. She went home on the Monday the 10th, and that evening I decided to give her a call late at night, so make sure she got home okay. We spent a couple of hours on the phone, and I forgot to set my alarm clock for the next morning to go in for this meeting. I had to be in at 8:30, which would have meant I would have been at the top when it happened. My hotel was a good 35 blocks away from the trade centre site, so I could see already what happened. Both towers had already been hit. 658 people in the company that I worked for died that day. They were based on the 101st through 105th floors of the North Tower. When we look back and we found that the reason I didn't set my alarm was because I completely forgot after talking to her. It did seem like she was a real saviour to me. She's a big part of the reason I'm still here, and that made us a lot stronger. There are people out there that suffer and still do suffer as a result of that day.
I did get a call. I turned on the news and saw what was happening. Sorry, it's too hard. I think it's very different now from how it was. I mean, it's just for people that obviously haven't had anything bad happen in their life. And I probably thought like that before as well, but I think it encouraged me to find someone new and get on with my life, but I can't. I mean, I try and do what's best for my children, but there's only so much you can do. I thought maybe it would get better, but it's just been like this for so long now, and I can't see myself ever feeling any better about it.
You have to look at yourself and think, did something stop me from being in there? Because I'm so incredibly lucky to be here today.
So what are you going to do?
Okay. Is that okay? That's fine?
Yeah.
I think we'd have a big
We can't really say, I don't think we could say what we do if we won the lottery because we haven't won it yet. Like, I don't know. We probably spend it a lot of it on cars and houses and stuff. Because that's usually what people do, really, isn't it?
Yeah, or they get married.
They don't always get married.
I think it's worth giving it a go. I've got a particularly good feeling for next week's draw.
You might have times I've heard that. They don't always get married.
Well, I'd like a big white wedding.
I like a quad bike.